Hey guys, this video is going to be a little bit about the new moon in Pisces that's coming up. That's going to be on February 27th. The new moon's going to be at 9 degrees, and from 6 months of that time, it will be a lunar eclipse. New moons, as we know, is all about setting our intentions, beginnings of something, goals that we want to achieve within the next 6 months. Because the new moon is in a mutable sign, it's going to affect all the mutable signs. So that includes Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius placements. The new moon is at 9 degrees, which is the Sagittarian degree in itself. If you look at the house that Sagittarius rules, it is the 9th house of philosophy, our beliefs, spirituality, religion, travel, and also legalities. So the top themes of this time are going to be around our belief systems, cultures, cultural values, and potentially some very influential experiences we have if we travel. It's all about viewing things from a higher point of view. And that's exactly what Jupiter wants us to do. That is the connection to Jupiter, to expand our minds, to grow. And so it affects everything collectively. Like the entire globe is going to have some expansion in their awareness, awakening to things that are happening in our realities. But the themes of Pisces do center around the spiritual realm. So that means it is a time to detach from material things, trying to kind of detach ourselves, not to say that you escape those things, but to not let it have so much effect over you. Just being aware when you're triggered by something. You don't want to isolate yourself. And like I said, you don't want to avoid responsibility, but just to be mindful of your soul's purpose. And that is what Jupiter is all about. Pisces is all about. 9th house, Sagittarius is all about. It requires you to really meditate and have some self-reflection and dig deep within yourself. Building your intuition, your psychic abilities are going to be a lot stronger right now. So if you've ever wanted to work on those skills, that would be a great time to work on them, right? To exercise those skills that you have. And we all have it. We all are born with it. Taking a step back, comparing the differences between enlightenment and escapism, psychosis or a spiritual awakening, because sometimes people can get them mixed up and face things when it comes to reality versus fantasy. Not to say that you can't have your dreams, but just to still dream big, but make it practical. Think of all the ways that you can bring it into reality, to bring it and make it real for you. Ironically enough, Jupiter in Gemini is at 12 degrees during this time. 12 degrees is the Piscean degree. So this is all connected together. Neptune still being conjunct the North Node in Pisces gets closer to the anaretic degree, which is 29 degrees, when it is at its most powerful point. So this new moon in Pisces is really going to be the time where you get to set your goals and intentions to prepare yourself for when March approaches. From what I see in March, it looks like a whole bunch of stuff happening. And a lot of the big shifts are happening throughout March, where we have Venus and Mercury, going into shadow, all that fun stuff there. And then towards the end of March, that's when Neptune's actually going to be moving into Aries. So I think Saturn is going to be going into Aries as well. Yeah. So, a couple aspects to determine what type of moon this is going to be. You look at where the ruler of the planet, so Pisces, represents Neptune. Neptune is in Pisces, yes, but we also have Jupiter, right? So Pisces also rules over Jupiter as the traditional, and Jupiter's in Gemini. So it's a Jupiter and Neptune combo. This one in particular, though, Jupiter is direct, so that's a good thing. You always want it to be direct, not retrograde, especially when it's in Gemini. At the 12 degrees, 12 degrees of Pisces, right? It's like open-minded, considering more than just one path. Gemini also has this same vibe as well because of the signs both have two things, right? So Pisces, the two fish, Gemini, the twins. And then Jupiter being in Gemini, it's representing travel, learning, language, gadgets, social media. I would assume that there's going to be some pretty significant things that will be seen on social media. Of course, we always have our moments and shifts of viral things that happen, but I suspect that there could be some prominent new viral thing that happens, and we'll just have to find out what that is. Neptune in Pisces is at the Cancerian degree, 28 degrees. Cancer, water sign, all about emotions, nurturing ourselves, going within, hiding out, hibernating. North Node in Pisces, letting go. Our intuition's going to definitely be heightened, right? Like with all moons, but mainly this one. Like, let's just say the last full moon in Leo wasn't necessarily about intuition. It was more about empowerment, self-confidence, solar plexus, heart. This new moon in Pisces is all about intuition, our spirituality, our dreams, the fantasies that we have, and how do we bring those fantasies to reality, make those dreams come true. Regardless, though, this entire next 18 months is all about the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. So major themes are going to revolve around letting go and trusting the process of letting something play out to the end, and setting something free with love. There's also going to be a 3-degree trine between Mars that's going to be direct by then, because Mars goes direct in Cancer on February 23rd, and Saturn in Pisces. So that trine there is great for actions, right? But not impulsive. It's more of a subtle, controlled action, more yeah, it's not like impulsive, fiery, and bombastic. It's where we have a steady pace at pushing to achieve our goals and setting boundaries, actually. If anything, that's going to have an energy that helps us to protect ourselves, set the boundaries that we need, healthy ones, to certain people. Then Venus in Aries will turn retrograde, of course, throughout this time. It's going to sextile Jupiter. That aspect is all about prioritizing self-love. So it is another self-empowerment, self-love aspect. Kind of, it harkens back to the full moon in Leo in a way, but it's more fiery because it's involving Venus. Venus being in direct motion in Aries is very impulsive, very dominating. It's like the masculine boss energy, boss feminine energy, or a cougar. Like that's kind of what I envision with Venus and Aries, a cougar, that she preys on men and stuff like that kind of a thing. But when it's retrograde, it's not that the energy is gone, but it's more so tamed, right? And perhaps applied to better things, not just applied to sexual energy or lust, more so applied to things that concern important decisions. So on the 23rd of February, Mars is going to station direct in Cancer. It's going to be at 17 degrees. It's been retrograde ever since October, so this will be quite a relief, right? But the whole point of Mars being in retrograde was to help us recalibrate our energy levels, to reassess where we are unbalanced and what can we do to rebalance ourselves. Mars stationing direct in Cancer may also press on some family issues because Cancer is connected to the family. It's the mother. So we could have some of those things come up. We may start to feel more clarity around family matters in general, or perhaps we may decide that it's time to take a different approach. That's all about the new moon in Pisces with Mars going direct on the 23rd. That whole combination together to prepare for the astrology in March, which will be super fun. Not really, but I think we will survive it at least. Let's actually peek into some of those aspects. And Neptune will enter Aries on March 30th. It'll stay there for a couple months. That event has not happened ever since 1861. So it's a pretty big deal there. Venus will go retrograde in Aries on March 2nd. So, yeah, basically right after the new moon in Pisces, that's when Venus is going to go retrograde in Aries. Also on March 2nd, Mercury will conjunct the North Node in Pisces. Mercury will conjunct Neptune. March 3rd, Mercury enters into Aries. March 11th, Mercury will conjunct Venus. Yeah, because as soon as it goes into Aries, it meets up with Venus retrograde. So that will be interesting. March 12th, the Sun conjuncts Saturn. And March 14th, there will be a full moon in Virgo, but then also a lunar eclipse in Virgo. March 15th is when Mercury will turn retrograde in Aries. And then March 17th, the Sun will conjunct the node. Then March 19th, the Sun will conjunct Neptune. Sun will enter Aries on the 20th of March, and then the Sun will conjunct Venus on the 23rd. The 24th, the Sun will conjunct Mercury. On March 27th, Lilith enters into the sign of Scorpio at 0 degrees. Oh yeah, I'm going to look into that one. 0 degrees Lilith in Scorpio. And then Venus will leave Aries and retrograde back into Pisces. This is all on the 27th, March 27th. Okay. I didn't really look at this until now, so pardon my shock that I'm having. But yeah, Lilith is 0 degrees Scorpio on March 27th. Then Venus, 0 degrees Aries in retrograde. And then Venus conjuncting Neptune in Pisces, because it's literally going to be all within that day that Venus will leave out of Aries and then enter into Pisces on this day of the 27th. Anaretic degree Venus with Neptune. That's going to be a freaking crazy, insane day. March 29th is when we have that solar eclipse in Aries. And then March 30th, Mercury leaves Aries. And that will be at 0 degrees. Good Lord. So March 27th, we have 0 degrees exact degrees, and then March 30th we have exact degrees again. Yeah, it's big stuff.